Thank you for joining us at the Roundtable.
Brought to you by Community Education Arts, a nonprofit organization based in Noblesville, Indiana.
I'm Alice Cavanis-Gober, president of CEArts.
And I'm Sarah E. Morin, secretary of CEArts. Let's sit down at the Roundtable.
Oh, by the way, I got to tell everybody, I love all your chats. I've kind of been checking them every once in a while to read them, and I know Sarah E. is doing a great job answering and saying stuff in there. So thank you for chiming in for your fellow um, presenters here tonight. We are up to our final presenter. Can you believe it? I'm so excited to present, to announce, to bring up to the invisible podium, if you will, George W. Wolfe with Ode to the Comet Neowise. This is our Best in Book Award of Merit choice this year, and it is our tradition always to end the book launch with that piece. So George, take it away. You got to unmute yourself. Yeah. There you go.
Hey, well,
Perfect.
gee, thank you very much. First of all, I want to say, seeing that flaming Irish cocktail, I mean, it was just intoxicating looking at it, you know. and I want to thank.
I agree. I think we're all going to go to the mixing board, you know, and try to do a version of that when we're out of this Zoom.
Pardon my poetic language, but it was. And I want to thank Deborah Peterson. Oh, Deborah, put that wine down. I want to thank Deborah for getting me involved in this group. You know, she approached me 18 months ago or so, and wanted me to present at the fall retreat. And I thought there must be some mistake, but it was. I really. That's what got me involved in this group, and it was so nice to find this family of creative artists and be a part of it. And I just really appreciate all the work you're doing in making this publication possible. So thank you very much. Well, I've been always intrigued by the superstition that has surrounded comets. I don't share that superstition, but nevertheless, when I found out from my father years ago that when Halley's Comet appeared in the sky in 1910, many people panicked and so forth. And then 1997, when Hale-Bopp Comet appeared in the sky, there were some people who committed suicide, and just strange things happening around comets, you know. And a lot of times most of the time they're discovered by a person, but this particular comet was discovered by a telescope. Neowise stands for Near Earth Object Wide Infrared. I better get this down. Near Earth Object Wide Field Infrared Survey Explorer. That's what Neowise stands for. So it's a lot more complicated than Perseverance landing on Mars, just naming it. By the way, if you all saw that, wasn't that great? Anyways, so this comet was discovered by this telescope in March. And what intrigued me is that all of a sudden in March, well, what did we have? The pandemic, we had an economic downturn, we had racial unrest, we had political craziness, but I wanted to see it. So I went out, my wife and I went out in July, and I didn't think I'd be able to see it because you couldn't see it with a naked eye. You had to have binoculars. And when something is in the sky that I can't see with the naked eye, I usually can't find it. Usually I have to latch in onto it with my eyes and then take the binoculars up. But lo and behold, we went out and we found it. And so that inspired this poem. And I will read it. I will read it now. Ode to the Comet Neowise. You seemed innocent enough, a whisper of light against the deep sky. Holding my binoculars steady, I was lured into a magnified moment, made breathless by wonder. You floated above the northwest horizon, as if the Big Dipper's ladle had overflowed. But humanity discovered you too late, O Kyber messenger of doom. Our pandemic-infested planet is now writhing in poverty and politics, pollution and pain. The sword of your tail slices through reason, masking responsibility as you move through warped space, deceiving us into blaming you rather than ourselves. Thank you.
That, well, I'm sure everybody can tell. You guys can unmute now because that was the last presentation. So feel free to chime in and interrupt me, or because I tend to talk too long. But I just want to say that I think everybody can tell why that really struck such a chord with us. Everybody's pieces somehow in this book made us feel something regarding the last year. Every single piece that came in. But your poem, there was something about that that just really did that thing for us that we look for the Award of Merit, the best in book. That I strongly believe that people are going to read this book and see that poem, and that poem is going to stick with them. You know, it's going to come up in their brains and in their hearts and souls. Not that the other submissions won't also, because they will, but that one in particular just seemed to speak to something about COVID-19 and this whole pandemic thing that we don't always say, but it is a human virus, right? I mean, we did this by we increased the spread and all that stuff ourselves. So we do have that responsibility. And thank you for sharing the information about the name of that comet and the history of how people often have reacted to comets. I can't talk, because that even makes your poem even that much more remarkable. So thank you so much, George. That was just such a pleasure to hear you read that for us tonight. Sarah E., what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that it has been a lovely evening. Thank you, everybody, for coming and sharing your art, supporting each other. Congratulations to everybody who was published in the
Yes.
book this year, whether we had time to. Spike's yang for you.
Yes, yes. And all those, if you're on Facebook watching and you submitted, we just cannot thank you enough for submitting. Over the years, we've had, people who've submitted to the Polk Street Review from the very beginning. They still submit. We've lost a few of them along the way. We've gained new submitters. I mean, it is just like what Deborah was talking about. It is a family, and we love you guys. And honestly, I wish we could have a platform for every single one of you to present your pieces, and all your pieces. And again, a lot of people send in more than one piece, more than one genre, more than one category. And we just love that. And we love being able to publish as many of them as we can. And I know this year the book has over 100 pieces in it, and it's just fabulous. So I'm just so excited.
I want to give a big huzzah to Alice for not only editing, but putting it on Lulu, doing the cover work. I mean,
Yes.
hours and hours and hours and hours of love and labor.
Yeah, well, it is a labor of love. It has been since we took it on, and we're going to continue to do this as long as we can get the money to do it. And so again, thank you to our supporters. There were people who you will see listed in the book who pre-ordered the book but didn't submit anything. And we consider those kind of people to be our donors, our supporters, and then of course our the local companies that supported and everything that bought ad space. So this is how we try to get this book published every year. And so spread the word. As most of you know, our annual deadline every year is December 31st. So start spreading the word now. And I do want to ask everyone, including our Facebook audience, everyone out there, if you have an idea for a theme for the 2022 edition, send us your theme idea. And the winner this year for Family Traditions Old and New was Vivian Bell. And so she got a free copy of the book. So if you are the winner of the theme contest, you get a free copy of the book. So as long as we can afford to, to do that, I'll be honest, we're a small 501c3. I'll volunteer. We need money, so send in money too. But no, send in your theme ideas for the 2022 edition, and we usually announce that about I don't know, when do we usually announce our theme? Like in the summertime sometime,
It's like late summer.
late summer, so that gives everybody a chance to think about if they want to address the theme or not. Now, the thing to remember is that the theme is always an optional prompt for people who have published with us before, who've been in the book before. If you share the information and to someone who's never submitted before, we would love for them to use the prompt, because that's a good kind of entry point for them to submit to us. So that's my little shout out for the 2022 book, when this one just launched. Rolling. Sarah E., what else?
I think that out of respect to the fact that a lot of us live online these days, I think we should probably bid you adieu and let your zoomed out brains rest. But it has been a delightful, stimulating evening, and please join us for events. So you can check us out at CEArts.org.
There's Dixie. Hi, Dixie. Love you. Yes, and do go on our website, because that's where you'll find information about our other annual project, our NICE project, and that is just getting underway. We're in the process of picking our 4 books for that. It's a literature-based project that's a lot of fun. So think about that. And oh my gosh, I don't even know how to say goodbye to you guys. It's just been so wonderful to have you here and to hear your voices and see your faces. Oh my goodness, wonderful. So thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you to all the artists. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining us.
This has been At the Round Table with Alice
And Sarah E.
of Community Education Arts.
Our nonprofit organization is based in Noblesville, Indiana. You can find us online at CEArts.org. We'd like to thank James Weston for writing our intro music and for his technical savvy.
Join us next time
At the Round Table.